Alright guys, welcome back to Rogue Mystic Divination, and I think it's kind of funny that every time I go to try and do one of these longer form videos, it's just like, oh hey, no, there will be a problem. And I just had, this time, I just had my fuzzy little, well, it was the foam one, but the foam little cover to my microphone just disappeared between me picking it up off the bed and putting it onto my shirt. Somewhere it has teleported, so it's not naked though. We got another cover for it, and we're still doing this. So this is the what the hell reading for Sunday, the whatever the hell it is. And these are timeless, so whenever you find them, they may help you figure out whatever situation is going on for you, whatever issues you're having in life, or just be generally helpful for you to maybe help pinpoint what that is. So I'm not kidding whenever I say everything just went to hell. But that's what I get for thinking I'm funny, right? No, this is for Sunday the 7th of September. But again, it's whenever you find it and whenever you feel like it may be helpful for you. So as we start to deal with September through the first week, hopefully everybody's had a decent past 7 days. But from the cards I've been pulling, it's the usual shenanigans. So this reading is going to be to answer 7 questions, as oddly as I said that. It's a 7-card reading, and the questions are: what the hell is happening? Why the hell is this happening? What the hell am I missing? How the hell do I feel about this? What the hell should I not do? And what the hell can I do? Also, where the hell is this going? And we're kind of shuffling this deck in parts and pieces because I've had cards sticking and not getting shuffled in there after I do the dailies, and that's just not vibing right for me. So I know not much can change from day to day, but we want to get some different perspective as much as we possibly can, right? So thank you guys for tuning in, and I hope you like this reading. If you do, put your comment below, send it a like, and for other channel information right now, check the description box or the top 1 or 2 comments, because I'm going to be putting a couple up. Hopefully I'll remember to do that. And I am offering personal readings this month, and further information for that will be below. So thank you guys for tuning in, and here we go, answering our first question. And I think this time I'm going to take the top card and the bottom card as different energies, not answering any specific question, but just to add more information to it. So for the initial energy of the read, we have the Queen of Pentacles. You're wanting to nurture something practical, and you're wanting to have something that you feel like is not transactional, but like there's worth to it, there's weight to it. It's kind of like picking up a package of something is, like picking up a can of green beans is going to feel different than picking up a bag of chips, right? You want something that you can kind of feel the worth in it. And it really does feel as though this is something that is from the past. You're not trying to further anything into becoming more than it needs to be. It's just kind of letting it cook where it's at. And for the bottom energy, we've got the Nine of Wands. So, as much as you want to grow things with the Queen of Pentacles, you also want to help it kind of gain its independence. And how you're going to do that is by constructing some kind of boundary between what you're willing to put into it and what you're, like, where your stopping point is. And I think this is more for you than it is the thing that you're trying to nurture, the thing that you're trying to keep real. And it may be something that you say too, is that you're just trying to keep it real, you're trying to keep it present and accounted for. And with that Nine of Wands, it's one of those cards that comes up a lot whenever there's a work-life balance issue, or where there's some kind of relationship that's not an intimate one, that's not a relationship where, you know, you feel like you're ingrained in each other. It almost feels as though there's someone who's trying to edge in on your energy and be all-encompassing in a way that you don't like. So with this card coming up, even you are acknowledging that you need to draw some boundaries, and this other person needs to abide by them, and also really recognize the boundaries by also drawing their own, adding to the fence themselves as well. So there's some kind of agreement, but there is also that worry that you're going to offend someone by putting this boundary up, and it's not necessarily something that you really need to worry about, because this is what you need. So don't be afraid to draw those lines and ensure that you're understood, because otherwise it is a Wands card, and if it doesn't show that you're passionate about maintaining your sense of self, then it's likely to blow up into an issue. There is optimism associated with this card though, and a great strength, great sense of self. So don't be afraid to uphold that. If it offends somebody, then that's their fault, that's their problem. And if they're not going to acknowledge how you might feel about something before they do something that affects you, that's on them. But I'm going to take these away, and that may help you, but that is not part of what the help. So, I mean, it's part of the reading, but it's not part of the 7-card spread. And I am sorry if this one runs long, but for our first card, what the hell is happening? We've got the Three of Pentacles. So our friend, the Three of Pentacles, it loves to come up in the dailies. So you may be dealing with a lot of earth signs, because it's odd, because I almost want to say that this is earth trying to act as though it's water when it's not. You know, who wants to be involved in a mudslide? Because I'm seeing a river of mud, and it's like they're trying to pave a way, but it's not. Someone's trying to pave a way that they want other people to follow, but they're also making it difficult at the same time. Have you ever tried to walk through mud? That's what this person is expecting, or this situation is asking people to do. They can mess up a situation and then walk through it like it's no problem, and then they're looking back at people wondering, why isn't this moving along the way that I want it to? If there is group conflict around you, I keep wanting to look at this person in this robe in the front as though they are a fire sign. So there could be a lot of conflict with a fire sign that's involved here. You know, someone who's trying to affect a situation, but they can only do so much. Especially if this is an earth sign trying to exhibit all the traits of the water sign. It's not... They're both trying to do something to each other, but it's like the conversation is not getting through. You know, they speak the same language, but they don't. They're not understanding things the same way, and if you feel like you need to handle a situation on your own, do not accept help, quote unquote help, because somebody's offering it. If what they're going to do or what they're planning on doing isn't going to help you, then acknowledge that and have no problem saying that up front. I've certainly had people come in and say that, oh, well, they were helping me, they were, you know, helping support me or something like that. And it's like, all you're doing is giving me something else I have to manage, and it's not actually furthering my situation at all. But they're standing there like, yeah, but I'm doing something. It's kind of like having a toddler in the kitchen helping you, and all they're doing is making a mess. So don't be afraid to acknowledge that, and you know, if they're willing to be in this situation, then they should be able to have that conversation and acknowledge the result of their actions. But that is what the hell is happening. Somebody is getting involved in what you're trying to do, what you're trying to accomplish, and they're making it more difficult. They're making it more of a mess than it doesn't necessarily have to be. And as much as you want them to be involved in this and be a part of the solution, they may not be able to. Why the hell is this happening? With the High Priestess in reverse, now the High Priestess in reverse is about secrets, and I know this is blown out, guys. I'm sorry. I might try and fix that post, but we'll see how much I can actually do that right now. With the High Priestess in reverse, the reason why you don't want someone involved in this, as a secondary reason, other than the fact that they're just kind of making a mess of it, is because you don't want to let them know everything that's going on, because one, it's none of their business. Two, because they're going to take it as a, well, you just don't want me in your life, you just don't value my input. And as much as you want to say, because you do nothing but make a mess of the situation that doesn't need to be this messy, there's likely something that they are going to react to about this that you're trying to keep back from them, so they just kind of keep busy twiddling their thumbs. That's what I'm saying about this. And this is almost giving the idea that, now this isn't for everybody, but it's this kind of situation that I'm picking up on, right? It's almost like you're a parent and you're attempting to work through some kind of custody or child support arrangement, something that is supposed to be agreeable, and there's a third party, because there are three people in this Three of Pentacles. There's this third party who's trying to be a part of it, but it's not really their thing. And even as much as they want to be involved in, like, say, your life and the child's life, there's still conflict there, because they don't really have a place there. This isn't like a husband and wife dealing with an ex and the kid. This is like a girlfriend or a boyfriend who decides that, well, they're involved with you, so they have a say in what you're dealing with in your life. And because they're going to have to deal with the fallout. Somehow they feel like they have to deal with the consequence of whatever this cooperative action is, and them thinking that they are a party that needs to be consulted is the problem. So, more with that boundary energy. And it's not that you're keeping secrets, it's that you kind of still have your own life and they have their own life. And I think if you find that if you started deciding that you got to make decisions for them, or you were supposed to have input on everything it is that the other person was doing, they would have a problem with this as well. They would be trying to do things without you, and that may be a point of contention with this person. It's like, oh, well, we're in a relationship, so I need to be involved in all of your relationships. And it's likely that this person isn't even that involved with the rest of your life, but they choose this to be the hill that they want to die on. What the hell am I missing? With the King of Cups, I want to reiterate that the Queens are there to kind of nurture an aspect of the situation, whatever the element happens to be. And the King is there to manage what's already there. He's not there to add anything to it. He's there to manage what's already there. And you are managing what's there right now. You're doing everything you can to manage the emotions that you feel for whatever this one situation is, and this other relationship that's trying to affect this pre-existing situation. Just because you're balanced out, though, and you feel like everything's equal, this other person, and I really think that it's a fire sign that's having this issue. They're the one that's kind of like sitting there burning up about it and not being inclusive with how they feel about something or why they feel this way. And that may be because now you need to have some hard conversations, which shouldn't be that hard. They should be just up front, and it's like, I'm very much getting that idea that water is wet, so you either feel this way or you don't feel this way. And if they have an issue explaining why they feel that way, then that is your answer. Oddly enough, the King of Cups is giving off very kind of cut and dry Capricorn vibes. It is or it isn't. So you could be a Capricorn, you could be dealing with one. Even though this is a water sign card, the King of Cups is a cut and dry managerial position. It just has to deal with emotion. You either understand where I need you to be at in my life, or you don't, and this isn't going to work out. Or you either understand the boundaries that I'm putting up, and you're agreeing to them now just to violate them later, so that then you get to be upset about it. Not that you get to be upset about it, but the other person gets to be upset about it. And it may, I'm just gonna keep pulling cards because this is going to be a very long reading, guys. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to make it an hour long, but yeah, it might be about half an hour. But with the King of Cups, the important thing to remember about what it is that you're missing here is that you only need to manage you. And as much as you may want to support somebody else being in your life, as much as you want to support someone being in your life, it may not be something that's going to work in the long term. And it seems like there is something that that this other person is, like, that's not connected to this prior relationship. This other person is really, or this other situation is really kind of trying to be something that they're not. It's almost as though they're showing up as a long-term relationship kind of a person whenever they're more of a flash in the pan kind of person. A one-night stand that ended up going good enough that you guys kept it going, but they don't know how to be in relationships. But somehow you feel like you can manage this because you're used to dealing with people that can't be in relationships for some reason. We all have our cross to bear, right? And for how the hell do I feel about this? How do you feel about this? That's almost 2 cards, but we're not gonna go there. You feel as though, as long as you're being respected and as long as your leadership is being followed, you're okay with it. Because then you can, as long as everybody has everything up front and has their grievances up front, you feel like you can manage this with the Emperor. But not everyone is going to be able to deal with this kind of structure, this kind of routine. And that may be where they prove to kind of fall off. Where they start to become disagreeable because they agree to it at first and it goes okay for about a week and a half and maybe even a month and a half. But after that it's like, okay, when do we have to stop playing? I keep hearing, when can we stop playing house and go back to having fun? You know, when can we stop playing adults and go back to, you know, what we were doing whenever we met? And they may even get to the point where they think that you're trying to control them whenever all you're trying to do is control the situation. And that's where they kind of start to break. It's almost as, sorry that I keep saying this, but it's almost as though they kind of have relationship ADHD. Like, oh, this is how we met, this is how it's going to go on forever, and this is great because I can, you know, we're constantly changing things up, we're doing stuff over here and then over there, and whenever that schedule sets in, at first, it's fine. At first it's fine because they may not have experienced this kind of schedule, this kind of stability before, so it's something new and exciting for them. And whenever it kind of gets redundant, that's when they start to get kind of hot and bothered about, well, when is this going to be over with anyway? Like, not when is this relationship going to be over, but when are you going to be done dealing with all this, you know, adult stuff, or this other stuff that seems to rule your life now that I'm in your life, and I have to see all of it rather than just the part that I like. But coming up with the way all of this is looking so far, it really looks as though you've got your life a little bit more together than this other person does. And it's not that your life is being ruled by this other relationship from your past that you have to hold on to for whatever reason, because it doesn't have to be a kid. It could be for, you know, it could be parents, it could be family, it could be, they could even see your job as this other party, and yeah, maybe they met you whenever you were on vacation, but it seems like you don't have this problem of adapting to the situation where they're used to, because this is your routine. But you have this other person that's trying to be there too, but not long term, because they can't stand it long term. Card 5. What the hell should I not do? So what should you not do? Don't manipulate things into being. Do not get into a position where you are becoming fun and fancy free with every aspect of your life, because this person is new, and just as you're new to their life, they're new to yours, and don't feel like you need to manipulate a long-standing situation that's been a part of your life and hasn't been a problem to make it work for this outside influence that you may think that they are going to be a long-term fixture, but I think as soon as you make all the changes that they want you to make, they're going to go away. Like even ghost you. And you're kind of sitting there like, well, I changed my life for you. Do not change your life for this person. Do not change your life for a temporary situation. If you have a schedule, if you have a routine, if you have a long-standing situation that you need to deal with because it's your responsibility and you want to hold up your responsibility, do that. And if this other situation over here is demanding, this could be a job too. This could be like a second job that you pick up, and like, say you have your stable job and then you have DoorDash constantly, you do DoorDash on the weekends or whatever, and they're constantly trying to get you to do stuff during the week, and or like off whenever you get off of your regular job. Do not let it burn you out. This person still is coming out to me like it's a fire sign, and like that's what's going to end up happening if you kind of bend the knee to this new energy. It's going to burn you out, and then whenever you're burnt out, it's going to go away and find something else to feed off of. Do not change your life for someone who just came into it. It can either kind of flow together like water, or you can end up destroying each other. And that's not good. So for part 6, we have, what the hell can you do? The Ten of Cups in reverse is the unhappy family card. Alright? In this position, answering this question, what the hell can you do? You can realize that some of your values do not align to everyone that you want to have in your life right now. And that's really what all of this has been reiterating, is that if something or someone doesn't fit in your life, as attractive as they are or as good as the money seems like it is, which likely if you put it down to the brass tacks, how much is this costing me? How much of a headache is this? How much do I have to pay in taxes? How much wear and tear is this doing on my car? How much of a pain in the ass is this to me in general? You're going to find that it's not worth it in the long run. Because this new thing, whether it's a job or a person, is burning you out, and it feels like you had a nice, comfortable schedule prior to this, but it may not have been meeting all of your needs because you needed something to switch it up, you needed something to kind of jostle that schedule a bit, but not jostle your primary schedule, your primary layout of your life. You needed something that you could do to feel like you're doing something else. And maybe that's what you need to acknowledge too. is that you needed to do something else, but you weren't sure. So you may have to acknowledge that you were in kind of an exploratory mode outside of your regular schedule, outside of your regularly scheduled programming, essentially. And there's nothing wrong with trying to see what else can fit in your life, but some things are going to burn you out for you to figure out that they don't. And acknowledge that now before it's too late. If some of you are even saying it's already too late, and a part of you is already disconnecting from the new situation. It's almost as though it pulled you over to one side for a minute, and you really liked it. But now it's like, how many more 24-hour days am I going to have? How many more can I put up with that? How many more 72-hour days can I have? And without a break from this. Because part of this almost feels as though it's performance art for you. And there's nothing wrong with trying something new. But the new thing doesn't have to totally rule your life. It doesn't have to be that thing that's suddenly you are defined by it. You're defined by your own actions and the trials and tribulations that you go through and how you handle them. So this is just another thing. As much as you may want to put all this emphasis on this new thing, I even feel like you're getting bored with it. Because a problem never ends, and if a relationship is struggling that much for you, and again, it doesn't even have to be a romantic relationship. It does feel like it's something new. You're not the cause of the problem. Okay, let me rephrase that. It's not that you're not the cause of the problem, or you're not the problem in the relationship. It's that you need to acknowledge that it's great once in a while, but it's not for all the time. If you have your moment with it, you have your moment with it. Be upfront about that. And I'm still getting a lot of earth energy with this, so you may be an earth sign. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pull the last card for this. So to answer the actual question, what the hell can you do? With the Ten of Cups in reverse, you can understand that it's a struggling relationship, and you need to understand how much you really want to be a part of this, and how much it's worth the rest of your life, or to be a part of your life. Don't sacrifice the life that you already had for this new thing, because that's going to make you feel very disconnected from yourself. So for where the hell is this going? The Empress in reverse. You're going to stop coming up with answers. Eventually you will stop coming up with answers for kind of condoning somebody's behavior, condoning the kind of effect somebody is having on you, condoning the you're going to run out of steam on being able to explain something away. And for a lot of you, this is a relationship, so I'm going to keep kind of referencing this as a relationship, but this could be, again, anything. It's like, yes, this person has taken me away from, or this other thing has taken me away from everything that I know and love, because I wanted to try something new, and that something new kind of destroyed the life that I already had. And it took control over your energy. And out of the blue, I saw this, so I'm sorry, because this is kind of one of those things that even I don't, it's not something that I necessarily go for all the time, but like you'll see celebrities, right? And it's one of the things that I've seen lately where guys will get into a relationship with a girl, or girls will get into a relationship with a guy, and their entire style changes. They change who they are to be able to fit into this person's world. Now, do you want to fit into somebody else's world, or do you want to be in your own world, to have your own kind of existence? Just because you do something once does not mean you have to make it your personality. And a lot of people will get stuck in that kind of ideology because they're super ingrained in it in the moment, and then it's like, well, I've got to stick to it because I don't want to be a hypocrite. Be a hypocrite. Be a hypocrite. Screw it. And if anybody else has any issue with you changing your mind or deciding that, oh, well, if you do it once, you got to keep doing it. Really? Because our lives can't have any variance. We have to fit some kind of archetype. And you may fall into that for a while. You may fall into fitting an archetype for a while because, again, this feels like it's not so much a controlling influence as it is a cajoling influence. Like there may be some dry begging. There could be some I keep picking up someone who's kind of slingshotting their emotions back and forth, like being really excited one moment and then being really kind of closed off the next. So do your due diligence and retain yourself, retain your sense of self. That's the main message out of this. Retain your sense of self, and if you had a previous life plan that you want to change now, go for it. But don't shirk your responsibilities just because somebody else wants you to. Don't shirk don't kind of shake off what it is that you've built up for a life so far just because somebody else comes in and says that, you need to go do this. Because this is a part of this. And it's almost like this is a one-person cult. Like they may even suggest that you give up all of your money, all of your worldly possessions to come and, be a hippie with them or something. And that's whenever you start questioning, wait, what am I doing here? But thank you guys for tuning in to What the Hell episode 4, and I hope to see you guys back. Please check back for your dailies, and I will see you guys later.